There's new training facilities, the AstroTurf, you're working on improving that at the moment. Will that make much of a difference?
Yeah, it will make a massive difference. You've just seen that hailstone come down there just behind over our shoulder, and the pitches and the grounds have been unplayable for months, 3, 4, 5 months with all the rain we've had. And so we've had to beg, steal and borrow, and we've had to shove some little kids off Butlers Mead School 3G pitch so that we could play for a little while. We wasn't bullies at all. We worked between them, between their times, and so that's really the only facility other than Sherborne that drains quite well. But obviously we haven't been able to use that very often. But certainly the 3G pitch at Butlers has been perfect for us. But we have to go with their timings. Obviously, if we've got our own 3G pitch, it'll allow us to do extra work anyway, whatever the weather. We can work on the grass and then go over there and work on our set plays or work on somebody's shooting or whatever it is. We've got a facility right on our doorstep that can, cope with the workload that we need.
Do you think people would be surprised that you've been in that position?
In what position?
The difficulty of having to, like you say, beg, steal and borrow and find...
Yeah, well, they will do, but again, that's the position of our club at the moment, where the schools have helped us, but we need a facility that's conducive to the championship. The chairman's been saying that as well. So whoever comes up with it, we'll be very, very grateful, because most of the time you're working, you're training, and if you've got a good workplace and an environment to improve footballers, then footballers will come to this club. Because at the moment they're just seeing a sea of water on our pitches and mud, and and not conducive to training, and it's very difficult to get them to sign for us when they can't see a training facility. But we've had that problem a little while. We're not going to. That's not the only reason why we are where we are, and we mustn't make that as an excuse. We have found places where we could, and people have helped us, and we thank them from the bottom of our heart, because that has kept us at least in the race.
Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Keeping on about the council, not keeping on, but keeping on that subject. Obviously, a new report's gone in from the club to the council recently, where it said that if it doesn't get the backing of the council, that sooner or later Yeovil Town could find themselves back in non-league football. Is it that serious a situation?
Well, I'm sure it is eventually. That's something that if you don't keep improving, and then you're going to go backwards. And if you don't keep improving, you're not going to entice the better players. You're not going to entice more public to allow you to go and pay for the better players. There's a lot, and if you want a community spirit around the club, then the whole community and the council and everybody that's involved in this area needs to help where they can. Sometimes it's not a money thing, sometimes it's just a permission thing. Do you know what I mean? Permission to build or to improve, and really that's all we're asking. And I hope it doesn't become too late, if you like. While people are arguing and sorting out, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing, say whether we're going to do it or not. And I was around during the Bristol City stuff of building the stadium. There's a lot of people worked hard. It looked like it was going to be perfect for the area, perfect for the people of Bristol, with a new stadium but that hasn't gone through because of some people didn't see it as the right thing to do. Whereas here, I don't see what the problem is, and if there is a problem, no one's told me that it's something that couldn't be sorted out and for the benefit of the area and football club and the area. If we're all going to be in it together, then let's all make the right decisions now, because this club may never be in this position again.
Not wishing to put words into your mouth, of course, Gary, but after obviously 108 years of trying to get into the Football League, then 10 years getting into the Championship, then to see all that slide away, would it be a tragedy? Of
course it would be a tragedy, and the people will have to hold their hands up and say whether they did enough or not, and that's an important thing, because if it all goes belly up, if it does go that way, then you know a few people might have to say, well, maybe I didn't do as much as I should have done, because there was a lot of people that have worked hard without those people to get it where it is now. All we're saying is, you know, if you want to, please join us, come in and be part of us, and we make people feel comfortable when they've helped us, and I'm sure there's lots of people that have enjoyed the games at the football club that are on the council, and you know I meet them in certain events, and they're nice people, but it's going, bang, make that decision, come on, let's get the football club up and going. Now, if there's something out there that I don't know about, then I apologise, but for me it's just a matter of going, you know, let's build the football club to keep Yeovil Town in the Championship, and that can only be good for the people that pay their taxes, and certainly the people that pay to come to the games and seeing, and it's got to be good for tourism. From what I hear, you know, more people around, more people in the hotels, etc., etc.
Going back to football, actually on the pitch thing, obviously we're coming into that sort of the nitty-gritty part of the season now, the last couple of months. Has it helped, because I know back in August, I think everyone at Yeovil Town knew it was going to be difficult, tough. Has that helped, knowing that it's not a huge surprise to see where we are? As other clubs might be thinking, right, you should be pushing.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And yes, to answer the question, it's a big yes, for the simple reason that most pundits didn't see us as having the finances to stay in the Championship. That's basically what most pundits felt. And because of that, we're probably not under as much pressure. We put ourselves under the pressure because we want to be in the Championship. But teams like Bolton, Sheffield Wednesday, Millwall, Charlton, these are teams that you know are not expected to go down into the first division, and their boards demand that they stay in the Championship. Now, you know, our board wants us to stay in the Championship, as I do, as everybody does, but we're probably, other than the pressure we put on ourselves, are not expected to still be in the Championship. So therefore, if we turn that right round and manage to hang on in there, it will be the biggest achievement that ever.
Because those clubs you mentioned, some of the players at those clubs must also think that they shouldn't be, or they must be a bit shell-shocked in a way to find themselves fighting a relegation battle.
Yeah, well, they would have been hoping that we would have been away and buried by now. That's what a lot of those teams would have hoped. But we've hung on in there, and we're still a threat to all of them. So that's good. But you know, you don't want to keep saying it, but when it comes up, if you delved into the budgets of those clubs and budgets of the clubs that have come down and been in the Premiership, and the infrastructure that they've all got in their training grounds and their facilities and at the grounds and away from the grounds and their fan base, do you know what I mean? Well, this is little old Yeovil. Do you know what I mean? Now, we're trying our hardest to make it a little bit bigger, and as I say, we need help. But, you know, those clubs have been around at this level for quite some time, and the expectancy is a lot bigger.
So you're trying to say then that by rights, on the finances, the fan base and everything else that goes with it, little old Yeovil should be dead and buried by now?
We should be at the bottom of the first division.
Yeah, the first division?
Yeah.
Not the Championship, the first division?
Yeah, as far as budget is concerned. We know what the budgets are in those divisions and the budgets in these divisions, and there are half the teams in the first division that are beyond a bigger budget than us, a bigger gate than us. You know, and that's just normal. We know that. You know, you don't have to delve too much to look at the paper and see that Sheffield United and, you know, some of the teams that are Bristol City that are struggling even in the first division have got the massive budgets, bigger budgets certainly than us. So, listen, that ain't, I don't want to be here saying, you know, well done me, well done us, but it's the reality of it. And until people realise the reality of it and realise that we need that help, I've been saying that for months, that we need maybe outside help, maybe inside, whatever it is, but the club needs to keep getting stronger and bigger, and often that's a financial thing, but it's also a permission thing at this moment in time, so that the club get that opportunity to develop, so that then we can generate a little bit of finance.
So really, whatever happens between now and the end of the season, the fact that Yeovil are going into March, still there, that's an achievement in itself.
I think to the people that don't understand that, they will see it as we've had a bad season, but the people, if you go value for money and points to budget, we're top of the league. You know, and I'm only saying that because it's important, as you've asked the question, that people know the situation that the club's in. And, you know, we're not moaning about it, I'm just answering